All right, today we're cracking the code on something that fascinates and honestly frustrates a lot of us. What is the secret to learning a new language? We're going to build a personal blueprint for success, piece by piece, so you can figure out what really works for you.
You know that person, right? The one who just seems to soak up a new language like a sponge, while the rest of us are still stuck on hello. Is it some kind of magic, a special talent they were born with, or is there something else going on?
Well, it turns out the secret isn't some mystical language gene. Nope, it's actually something way more useful, a personal blueprint. It's unique to you, and it shapes exactly how you learn. So today we're going to map it out, one component at a time.
Okay, first things first. Let's tackle the biggest idea out there, age. We've all heard it a million times, you've got to learn when you're a kid. But is that really the whole story?
This idea actually comes from a well-known concept called the critical period hypothesis. Basically, it suggests there's this magic window in childhood where our brains are just perfectly wired for language. After that, our first language is so deeply rooted that it can get in the way of learning new sounds, which is why nailing a native-like accent can be so tough for adults.
But hang on, it's not that simple. It's definitely not a case of younger is always better. Look at this. Kids are fearless, right? They just dive in and learn by doing. But adults, we have our own superpowers. We can concentrate for longer, we can think in more abstract ways, and we can analyze both the meaning and the structure of a language. It's not a handicap, it's just a different set of tools.
Okay, let's plug in the next piece of our blueprint, your motivational fuel. This is huge, because no matter your age, your why, the real reason you're learning, can be the most powerful engine you have.
So first, you've got what's called integrative motivation. This is when you're driven by a genuine desire to connect with the culture. You want to watch their movies, understand the music, and actually talk to people. You want to be a part of that world.
Then there's instrumental motivation. This one's all business. It's purely practical. You need the language to get a promotion, to ace an exam, or maybe to read some technical manuals for work. The language is a tool to get something specific done.
Next up is intrinsic motivation, and this one is powerful. It's when you learn just for the pure joy of it. There's no external reward, you just love the challenge. It makes you feel competent, it boosts your self-esteem, and it just feels good. And no surprise, research shows this is a major key for sticking with it long-term. And finally, we have extrinsic motivation. This is all about the outside rewards, getting a bonus at work, a good grade, or even just a compliment. It can be a fantastic way to get started, but think of it like kindling. It burns bright and fast. It often doesn't have that slow, steady burn of that internal, intrinsic fire. So if you're feeling stuck, it's worth asking yourself, which one of my fuel tanks is running low?
Which, of course, leads to that classic chicken and egg question. Does motivation cause you to succeed? Or does a little bit of success give you the motivation to keep going? Well, the truth is, it's a loop, a positive feedback cycle. Each one fuels the other. What do you think comes first for you?
Okay, on to the next piece of the blueprint, your personality. Are you an extrovert who loves to chat, or a more reflective introvert? Are you a risk taker? These aren't just quirks, they actually play a huge role in how you learn.
Think about it. An extrovert might just jump right into conversations, making mistakes and learning as they go. An introvert, on the other hand, might prefer to build a solid foundation by studying alone first, planning what they want to say. And here's the thing, neither way is wrong. They're just different roads leading to the same place.
And speaking of personality, there's this one crucial trait called tolerance of ambiguity. Let's be real, language learning is messy and confusing. You're not going to understand every single word right away. This trait is just about how okay you are with that feeling of uncertainty, how well you can sit with the confusion and not freak out.
This quote really nails it. If you have a low tolerance for ambiguity, every confusing sentence can feel like a personal threat, which leads to frustration. But a successful learner, they see that same exact situation, not as a threat, but as an interesting puzzle that they get to solve.
All right, let's pop the hood and look at the machinery itself, your brain's cognitive style. How do you actually process information? This is kind of like the mental operating system layer of our blueprint.
So one really useful way to think about this is whether you're field-independent or field-dependent. Just think trees versus forest. A field-independent learner is great at seeing the trees. They're analytical, and they can easily pick out details, like one specific grammar rule in a really long sentence. A field-dependent learner is better at seeing the whole forest. They're more holistic, and they're great at picking up on the overall context and social cues of a conversation. A classic test for this is called the embedded figure task. So people who are highly field independent can look at a complex design like this and very quickly spot the simple shape hidden inside, in this case, the number 4. It's a perfect little test of that ability to pull a key detail out from a distracting background.
And of course, you can't talk about the brain without talking about intelligence. But not just IQ. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences shows that we're all smart in different ways. Maybe you have musical intelligence that helps you with rhythm and intonation. Or maybe you have great interpersonal intelligence, which is absolutely key for navigating real-world conversations.
And this brings us to a really important insight from all the research. While a high traditional IQ is definitely helpful for stuff you do in a classroom, like analyzing grammar rules, it's way less important for what actually matters most, using the language to connect with other human beings.
So, we've looked at age, motivation, personality, and how your brain works. This last section is all about putting those pieces together. This is where we go from just understanding your blueprint to actively using it to build something amazing.
And the tools you use to build are your learning strategies. These aren't just vague ideas. They're the specific, concrete actions you take. We're talking about using flashcards, finding a language partner, keeping a vocabulary journal. These are the techniques that put you in the driver's seat.
The ultimate goal here is to become an autonomous learner, and it's simpler than it sounds. Step 1, set your own goals. What do you want to achieve? Step 2, organize how you'll get there. And step 3, go out and find opportunities to learn and practice on your own, instead of just waiting for a teacher to tell you what to do.
So there you have it. Age, motivation, personality, cognitive style, and strategy. Those are the key pieces of your personal learning blueprint. The secret was never about being a natural. It's about understanding how you work and then building a learning path that's perfect for you. So now that you have all the pieces, what kind of learner are you going to build?